YouTube. Hope you're having a good day. I'm going to be showing you the landscape rake that I built. I wanted a landscape rake for a few years now. We do a few food plots for our hunting, and I wanted something to help clear off branches and brush and stuff like that. And then recently the land that we hunt on got logged, as you can see in the background, and a lot of the trails are covered in small little sticks, and I wanted something to pull behind the four-wheeler to kind of clear those trails off. So rather than buying one, I thought I could make one on my own. I've worked on it over the past couple months, started in the wintertime, and I've been able to use it a little bit. So as you can see, I made it a flip over style. So I've got wheels on the one side, and then you flip it over to get it to the tines. So I'll show you that. You just flip it around like this. And the reason I did that is just out of simplicity. I've been building this at my cabin. I don't live there, so I'm not there that often. So that rather than building the commercial kind that has it would have the wheels on the bottom right now, and you'd pull a lever to lift it up. I just went with a fixed style like this. So it makes it a little more work to use it, because when brush and stuff gets caught in there, you got to lift it up and clear it out. So it's not as easy, but it was a lot simpler to build and cheaper as well. So we'll show how that works. But I also added in the ability to rotate it. So this spot here is how I rotate it. So if you're pulling it and you want everything to just flow off, if you're not doing like sticks and stuff, it's also really nice for smoothing out food plots. If you got a lot of lumpy ground, it smooths things out really well. Just take that pin out, and then it rotates. And I've got a couple different, two different angles each way that you can set it to. It's like, I think 15 and 30 degrees, but 15 is probably about the max you want to do anyways, but I wasn't sure when I built it. So we'll do it like that, and then I'll show you how it works picking up sticks and how we clear it out. So you can see I actually did some 3D design work of the rake before I got to building it. It's not a completely necessary step. Obviously, not everybody has access to this, but I have access to it. I have a program called Creo on my computer, and it's kind of nice to model everything up beforehand, make sure it looks good and clearances are going to work and hole patterns work out. And it honestly just saves me time on the manufacturing end. I don't have as much time. I was building this at my cabin. I'm not up there that often, so I wanted to make sure I had everything planned out before actually starting to build it, to save me some time there. So the other thing is you can check, make sure everything is going to clear. So like I could modify the angle of the tongue, check and make sure that it's going to clear the bolts that, right here that hold this lower rake on, things like that. And then I was also able to print one-to-one patterns, which you'll see later, of these two pieces. So I can mark the holes out ahead of time, mark them with a punch, and it makes this piece easier to make and a lot more accurate than just measuring by hand. So a few different advantages you can get from modeling up. Was it necessary? No, you don't need to do it, but for me it's helpful. And here's a picture of the hole pattern that I was able to print out on a piece of paper and tape down to the steel that I'm going to drill the hole pattern into. Doing this makes it a lot easier to make sure that hole pattern's accurate. From there, I marked the pattern on one plate and then welded two plates, just tack welded them together so that I could drill the holes at the same time through each plate so that they'll be exactly the same. And there we go with the plate. Have all the holes drilled into it. Now I will cut it probably with the grinder to make it look a little bit better. But yeah, it turned out nice. Okay, I've got the bulk of the landscape rake here, and I've got it clamped up, and I'm just about to weld it, but I wanted to show it off before I get to that point. I had to rework the plates a fair amount just to get the holes the right size so that I can rotate the tongue here, and I've got it clamped up, and I can rotate it all the different angles. And this 3/8 inch pin goes in just fine, and I think it's ready to weld. I'm just a little nervous to do it because once I do that, it'd be a pain to go back, but I think it's ready. So if you've got two people, you can stop, have the person stop, lift it up, and then go forward. Keep going like that, and then just kick the brush off to the side. Or if you're by yourself, you gotta hop off, pick it up, swing it over to the side, and then clear it out yourself. So it's a little more work than having the wheels, but like I said, it was a lot simpler to make.